Show from CSN Chicago and streaming on WGN Plus.
Who can set the court on fire? Only the Bulls. Keep us burning with desire. Only the Bulls.
Welcome back, Kevin Haw on Comcast Sportsnet and WGN Plus. Our friend Nazr Mohammed, who I've known since he was a high school junior, is in our studio.
Wow. That only makes him seem, he tells you he's at the end of his NBA career, but also makes you sound old.
Yeah, really old.
Really old.
How about that?
That's something else.
17-year NBA career.
And Nazr is as classy as they come, a bright professional athlete. And yeah, I wondered, Nazr, what were the circumstances where you were turning to Cap for counsel? How could that be?
At that time, he was the man, especially as far as knowing colleges, knowing high school basketball. So we had to reach out to him and kind of see.
And you were debating on what college to attend and how to go through the process.
Yes, how to deal with the process. There's a lot of schools coming at me. At that time, I almost went to Georgetown. I was so close. My father almost made me sign a letter of intent to go to Georgetown.
Because he wanted that and you weren't sure?
Oh, yeah. My father, he knew John Thompson.
Yes.
He didn't know much about basketball, but he's from Ghana. And,
right.
He just knew John Thompson, and you're going to Kembe Mutombo. He just started naming these guys.
So what changed? A giant envelope full of 20s and 50s? Or what happened?
If you know me, you know that it didn't. That
I'm
didn't
kidding.
Happen.
I'm kidding.
Your dad
I do
mom
know
would
you.
never, ever have allowed
Just
that.
kidding.
Yeah, it was, people, offered some things, but I wasn't taking anything.
But you changed your mind, and the rest is Nazr history.
Yeah, I just didn't feel it.
Right.
I didn't feel it in Kentucky. I'm so happy I didn't listen to my pops that one time.
Now, the funny thing is he told me when you were in TV yesterday with me that he shows up at 315 pounds.
Yeah.
And Coach Pitino said, practice is October 15th, and you ain't getting on the floor till you're 250, right?
Yes.
Wow. That's a lot for an 18-year-old kid to
And this is what?
take
August?
It was
June?
No, it was end of June,
End of June.
after prom.
How about that?
So then you go and you get in shape, basically.
I went straight to work. Sean Brown, who was the strength and conditioning coach at that time, he said, "Hey, you're gonna see me 2 times a day, a couple hours a day, and I'm having people watch you."
So when you're a high school kid, when you reflect back, and it's great to look back at how you were able to do that and relive that. Do you ever imagine in your wildest dreams that you would have the NBA career and the longevity that you enjoyed?
Not the longevity, but I would not be a professional athlete if I didn't think I'd be an NBA star. I thought I'd be Kobe. That's like, every kid, they want to be Kobe. I didn't dream to be Nazr Mohammed, but I've enjoyed it. I dreamed to be Michael Jordan.
All right, you are one of the great guys in giving back to the community. Just everything, the way you conduct yourself. You got a big event coming up Friday night.
Yes, I do. It's Friday night. It's All In for Autism at Galleria Marchetti from 7 to 11. Everything is benefiting Easter Seals Chicago and Turning Point Autism Foundation. It's a casino gala, so when you walk in, you're going to feel like you're in a casino. It's going to have silent auction, food, drinks. Everything is included in general admission. And you can buy your tickets at NazrMohammed.com or allinforautism.eventbrite.com.
There you go. Nazr, the easiest way is just NazrMohammed.com.
Yes, that's the easiest way.
What are the chances that Nazr Mohammed will be on an NBA roster this year, and where do things stand with the Bulls?
That's a tough question. That's the toughest question you asked me today. I really don't know. My heart says I want to play another season, and physically I'm training to play another season, but it's all situational. I'm no longer willing to play for just anybody. It has to be a team that's competing for a playoff spot. It has to be a team with great organization, great teammates, because I don't want to babysit. So, if the situation comes out that I like, I'm taking it.
I have heard there's a lot of people in town that obviously don't like LeBron because he's LeBron. But I've talked to people around the league who know this guy, and they said, look, away from all of the media glare and everything, he's actually a good dude. Is that true?
I don't know him well. I mean, we've been in certain settings, so we kind of know of each other, and we have a lot of friends that know each other. But I don't know him well. But I hear the same thing. I hear he's a great teammate, great guy. Everybody likes him. Everybody who's played with him wants to continue playing with him. So, that's all I know about him.
So obviously, this Bulls offseason has been eventful at the beginning and very quiet throughout. They haven't really added a lot of people to the roster. They have essentially, and this is the way I've interpreted it, I'm not putting words in your mouth, they said to the Bulls fans, we're going to come back with the same roster, essentially. We're just going to change coaches, and we're going to be better because of that. You don't see that happen a lot in the NBA. The Bulls are going to head into this season with essentially the same core, same group of guys that lost to the Cavaliers in the playoffs. It came close, but it wasn't close enough.
Oh yeah,
It's unusual, isn't it?
Yes and no. I mean, it is the same roster, but you have to look what Steve Kerr did in Golden State. I mean, they brought a pretty similar roster back, and they just won the championship. So I think I have a lot of confidence in Fred Hoiberg. I think he's a great guy. He's been in the NBA. He was an executive. He's a great coach. The system would be different. So the fans would definitely love watching, a faster pace of basketball offensively because everyone loves that. But I can see where you're coming from as far as it's the same roster, but it can definitely be better because we underachieved last year.
When you look at going to Africa, you were just there. Mm-hmm. You're the first player, is it Ghanaian?
Yeah.
First Ghanaian to play in the NBA. You go play in Africa. There were some other great players over there. What was that like for you when you first stepped on the court and you go, wow, this is me?
I got that feeling when I stepped off the plane. It was just to be on African soil, to have Ghanaian parents, and to actually get a chance to play in such a historic game. I was, full of emotion and just being there, and then to get to the arena and play with those great guys and to work out with Hakeem Olajuwon, a guy who I idolize. Who can still play.
He did the dream shake.
He looked very, you did a double take like, wow, that's Hakeem. He looks pretty good.
Oh, his footwork is amazing. He taught me a couple of things. You can still teach this old dog a new trick or two. So he taught me some things, and it was a great experience.
What was the reaction like to you, and what was it walking around the country like for somebody that, you did? It was a significant moment to you, and imagine the reaction and the reception was very heartwarming.
Oh, the reception was unbelievable. But first we did a camp there with the 60 boys who were the best in the country and the 60 girls who were the best in the country. So they would just come up to you and touch you. You're standing there talking to someone. They just wanted to feel you to make sure that you were real. So the game is growing there, and there's some unbelievable athleticism in the continent. And
not only there, but in Chicago, you feel a responsibility to set an example because you're active in the community. You want to improve the city where you grew up, and I think that's admirable. What are some of the types of ways that professional athletes like yourself can use outreach to make it a better place?
I feel everyone should do it, but at the same time, it touches your heart and it pulls at your strings at different points in your life. I think you got to get back in the community. You can do it in your own way. Some people just financially, but time is something that you can give, and it's unbelievable how much you can get across to a kid, just seeing you and talking to you and believing that you're just like them instead of through a filter like TV.
We see athletes, they get done playing and they put weight on and they look unhealthy. You are like the walking billboard for how a guy takes care of himself.
I think I'm addicted to working out. I wake up and the first thing I think about is I need to get in the gym. So long playing the game, since high school, trying to, get in better shape. It's ingrained in me, and hopefully I can keep this up.
So what do you do?
I do it all. You name it, I do it. Right now I'm doing a lot of body weight exercises. I'm doing a lot of correctives for joints and, getting everything in line so I can, just get stronger.
Still swimming?
Swim, Pilates, yoga, boxing, MMA, grappling.
That's got to be hard to find a yoga mat for somebody your size.
They have some. They have some big yogis out there.
So, obviously, Nazr, you've been around long enough to know how polarizing Derrick Rose has become in Chicago. And you're a guy that understands Chicago as well as anybody. And you were a teammate of Derrick Rose. As a guy, the elder statesman on that roster. How would you describe your time being a teammate with Derrick? And if you were to give him advice at any point throughout the time you spent with the Bulls, what was it like? Did he come to you to seek advice? Did you offer it unsolicitedly?
He didn't seek advice from me, but I'm a guy who do offer advice unsolicited. But no, he's a great teammate, good guy. You got to understand Derrick. Derrick loves basketball. He loves the craft. He loves working on his game, and that's what he wants to do, and that's what he's probably doing right now. Everything in his life is about basketball and getting better. So, some of his comments have been taken out of context, but at the same time, he is a basketball junkie and a good teammate.
There are times, and I've seen him since he was a freshman in high school at Simeon playing in the Frosh Soft Championship. And I've wanted to walk up to him and to Reggie and go, do you guys not understand this today's times and who he is. You just need a PR person, someone that you can vet stuff with, so when you get out there, you don't say things that people just. He's not the most eloquent guy. They just misinterpret it, and it makes him look bad. He's a good kid.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy, and everybody doesn't think in those terms. As you get older, you start to see the picture a little bit differently as far as PR and how you're presented out there into the world. But when you're young, and I think having a kid has also changed him. When you're younger, you're not thinking in those terms, but, I mean, it could help. But I think I like him just being real, being himself. Hey, if he makes a mistake, so be it. We all know where his heart is.
Yeah, it's in the right place.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, Tom Thibodeau, misunderstood or workaholic or both?
I guess you got to go with both. I mean, everyone probably feels they're a little bit misunderstood, and we all know that Tibbs is a workaholic. He loves preparation. He loves getting ready for games. Whatever he puts himself into, he's going to go all out, and we will see him coaching again. I mean, he's a great coach, but it's a different regime with Fred Hoiberg, and I think he'll do great.
All right, again, NazrMohammed.com, Friday night. It's for autism and Easter Seals research. It's a tremendous cause, and it's at Galleria Marchetti.
Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. Come check it out. This may be the last year I offer tickets to the public. I'm thinking about taking it to more of an invitation-only type event. So, hey, come check it out so you can be one of those people on the list.
You got it. You're the man.
Thanks, Nazr.
There he is. That's our guy, Nazr Mohammed. As classy an athlete as Chicago has had.